Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the static, look at the sources, and really pull out the insights you need.
That's right. And today, we've got something pretty explosive. A moment that, well, really lit a fire.
Yeah, we're talking about an alleged warning aimed at African nations and the response, totally unscripted, that followed from President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. It definitely got noticed.
It certainly did. Our job today is to unpack that. We need to dig into Traore's actual words, sure, but also the history behind them, why they hit so hard, and what this signals for Africa's future.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. There's this supposed warning floating around attributed to Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister.
Yeah.
Something like, stay in line or face consequences aimed at African leaders.
Right, but here's the fascinating part. Traore immediately kind of brushed off whether Netanyahu literally said those exact words.
He did. What did he say?
He said, and this is a direct quote, "Whether he said it or not, I don't care. The message was loud and it was clear."
So right away, it's not about the specific quote, but the feeling, the perceived message behind it.
Exactly. It shifts the focus entirely to the impact and the perceived intent.
Yeah.
And how Traore responded, well, that's where it gets really dramatic.
Tell us about that moment. This wasn't some, formal press release, was it?
Not at all. He's in Ouagadougou, the capital. Cameras, journalists, his people are there. And he specifically says he didn't have a script. He just spoke.
Wow. Straight from the heart, as he put it.
That's what he said. And he directly challenged Netanyahu. No holding back.
Okay, what were the words?
He said, "We are no longer colonies. We are sovereign nations. If any foreign leader thinks they can threaten Africa into submission, they are gravely mistaken."
Pretty strong stuff.
Very strong. And did he elaborate on that?
Oh, yeah. He went further. He said, "Let me make this crystal clear to you, Mr. Netanyahu. Burkina Faso does not answer to Tel Aviv. We don't answer to Washington. We don't answer to any force that thinks it can buy us or bomb us into doing what they want." So he's naming names: Tel Aviv, Washington. But it sounds like it was broader than just Israel.
Absolutely. He made that clear. He framed it as a message to, quote, "every nation that's ever tried to control Africa, exploit our resources, or silence our people."
Right, widening the scope considerably.
And then he delivered this kind of collective statement, almost a warning back. If you come for one of us, you come for all of us. Africa is not yours to threaten.
That's a declaration of unity, isn't it? A really bold stance.
Incredibly bold. It marks a real departure.
So that begs the question, why now? Why this specific moment to break what many see as a long-standing pattern of maybe more cautious diplomacy from the continent? What pushed him?
Well, he tells us why. He said, "We are done staying silent. We are done bowing down. We are done letting foreign powers treat our continent like their playground."
So it's a sense of being fed up, a culmination.
Precisely. He ties it directly to history. The exploitation, the drawing of borders, taking resources.
Gold, diamonds, oil, he mentioned those specifically.
He did. And the meddling, even after independence, using money, threats, soldiers. He felt this alleged warning from Netanyahu was just another example of that.
An insult, he called it.
Yeah, an insult to every African who's ever dreamed of a free, proud, and united continent. So for him, silence wasn't an option.
Right. He said something like, "Silence is what they expect, but I'm not that kind of leader."
Exactly. He framed it as a fight for his people, for dignity, for the future. It explains the passion, the lack of script.
And clearly that passion connected, because the reaction was immediate, wasn't it?
Instantaneous. It just exploded online. X, Telegram, WhatsApp. The sources say his words spread like wildfire.
Millions of people.
Millions across Africa and even beyond within hours. It wasn't just elites. It was hitting ordinary people.
Well, like who? Who was picking this up?
The sources mention young people in Mali, farmers in Niger, students in Guinea, activists down in South Africa, all sorts of people.
And they saw it as reflecting their own feelings.
That's the sense you get. It tapped into their own hopes, their own anger, their own dreams. It became bigger than just Traore or Burkina Faso.
Were there concrete examples of support, like from other leaders?
Yeah, definitely. Colonel Goita in Mali shared the clip. Madi Doumbouya in Guinea publicly backed him. It wasn't just online buzz.
And those hashtags, hashtag Africa will not bow.
And hashtag West Stand with Traoré. They became like a rallying cry, a battle cry, as one source put it.
It signifies something changing, perhaps.
And does.
A sense of unity.
That's the narrative emerging. Africa is waking up. We're a family. When one is threatened, we all stand together. That kind of sentiment.
Which brings us to this idea of sovereignty. He talks about it a lot. How does he define it in this context? It's more than just a word on paper for him, clearly.
Oh, much more. He says it's not just a fancy word. It's fundamental. It's the right to make our own choices.
Choices about what, specifically?
About who comes into our land, who takes our resources, and who we work with. Basically, autonomy, he puts it simply. This is our home, and we decide what happens here.
That really pushes back against the old idea of Africa as a chessboard for bigger powers.
Completely rejects it, and he points to actions in Burkina Faso to back it up.
Like what kind of actions?
Taking back control, saying no to foreign military bases, no to deals that don't benefit the people, and obviously no to threats.
And this isn't happening in isolation, right?
Yeah.
He mentioned the Sahel Alliance.
Yes, this growing partnership between Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, it's built on that idea, standing together, protecting each other, and ensuring Africa calls the shots.
There's a history there too, isn't there? Pushing out French influence.
Absolutely. He points directly to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso kicking out French forces, and he adds, significantly, this is not stopping there.
So this speech, as fiery as it was, he saw it as necessary, not reckless.
That's his position. Necessary, a statement that Africa is here to thrive, to build, to lead, not just survive.
That's a powerful message. Now, shifting gears slightly, what was the reaction from, say, Israel? Did they respond to this direct challenge?
Silence. According to the sources, Israel's government didn't say a word, no response, no statement.
How did Traore interpret that silence?
His take was, they weren't ready for someone like me to stand up and call them out.
Interesting. And what about Western media? Did this get much coverage?
Very little, apparently. The sources suggest they barely touched the story.
Why do you think that is? Or what did Traore suggest?
His view, or the interpretation presented, is that it doesn't fit their narrative, the narrative of Africa being weak, divided, and dependent.
So this kind of action actively challenges that narrative. It's about rewriting the story.
That's exactly the phrase used. He's consciously trying to reshape how the continent is perceived and how it perceives itself.
And it seems he's becoming a symbol in that process, even if he didn't intend to. People calling him a voice for the continent.
Yes, a symbol of defiance, giving people hope. But he frames his motivation differently.
How so?
He talks about his belief in Africa, in our strength, our history, our future. He invokes the dreams of our ancestors and looks towards the young people who are ready to build a new Africa.
An Africa that sits at the table as equals, not begging for scraps.
That's the vision. And the Sahel Alliance for him is just the first step towards a much bigger dream.
Which is?
All of Africa standing together, north, south, east, west, united as one. That's the ultimate goal he articulates.
And he had some pretty pointed words for other leaders too, both within Africa and outside.
Oh, absolutely. A direct message. Your time is up. He tells external powers that Africa is not your backyard, not your resource bank, not your punching bag.
It's a reclamation of identity almost.
Very much so. Africa is waking up and we're remembering who we are, the children of kings and queens, warriors and builders. The future. It's rooted in history, but aims squarely at what's next.
And he finishes with a call to action for ordinary Africans.
Yeah, a real rallying cry. Don't be afraid. Share this message. Stand up, demand your rights. And crucially, support leaders who fight for you, not for foreign interests.
He also anticipates criticism, doesn't he? People saying he's being too risky.
He does. He addresses it head on. His response, staying silent is the real risk. He says he's not here to make friends with those who disrespect us. I'm here to fight for what's right.
It's quite a declaration of principle. Very clear where he stands.
Uncompromisingly clear.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? We've walked through this really potent moment, Traore's words, the context, the reaction. It feels like more than just one speech.
Definitely. It's a snapshot, maybe, of a much larger shift happening.
Yeah.
You know, these geopolitical plates moving, rooted in history, but accelerating now with this push for genuine self-determination.
Right. So here's something to chew on, a final thought. You see these new alliances forming, like the Sahel Alliance. You hear leaders like Traore challenging the old stories, the established narratives.
Yeah, so the question becomes, how might this growing sense of maybe continent-wide solidarity actually start to reshape global politics? How does it change the game, the very idea of power, as we move deeper into the 21st century?
Something to think about. That's all for this deep dive.